The 2017 draft class is now 3 years into their career, and during the draft process, analysts and evaluators always say that we'll know how this class is in about 3 years. This class consisted of players like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and Mitch Trubisky, and in today's video we're going to be going from picks 32 to 1 and giving them grades based on their first 3 years in the NFL so far. But before we get started, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now let's begin. The 32nd pick in the 2017 draft was when the Saints selected offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk. In 3 years, he has been nothing short of spectacular and has a first-team and second-team All-Pro to his name. He gave up 0 sacks in the regular season in 2019 according to Pro Football Focus, and in a day and age where teams like the Texans have given up multiple first-round picks to get the position right, and how good Ramczyk has been, this is an easy A+. The 31st pick was when the 49ers selected linebacker Reuben Foster. Foster has been in a lot of legal trouble since coming out of Alabama, including being sent home from the NFL Combine and having a weapons and drug offense result in a 2-game suspension. He was released by the 49ers before the end of his second year. While he was good in his rookie year when he played, he forced the team to release him because of off-the-field issues. They received nothing in return for him, and this is a harder player to grade because of the baggage, but the grade I give Foster through 3 seasons is a D+. The 30th pick was when the Steelers drafted edge rusher TJ Watt. TJ in 3 years is a 2-time All-Pro, a 2-time Pro Bowler, and was a first-team All-Pro in 2019. He has back-to-back seasons with at least 13 sacks and was a legitimate Defensive Player of the Year candidate in 2019. Watt is a franchise cornerstone, and this is an easy A+ pick. The 29th pick was when the Browns drafted tight end David Njoku. Njoku had a very good second year in which he had 56 catches and over 600 yards. However, he had an injury-filled 2019, and his grade isn't really fair at this point in time because he will be just 24 when the next season starts, and I think he can be a reliable starting tight end for the next few years. There's an asterisk next to this at this point in time, but I'm giving the Njoku pick a B right now. The 28th pick was when the Cowboys selected Taco Charlton. Charlton is already on a new team and had one of the shortest tenures a first-round pick for the Cowboys has ever had that didn't have a season-ending injury. He started just 7 games for them over 2 years and is by every definition a draft bust. The draft grade 3 years later for Taco is an F. The 27th pick was when the Bills selected Tre'Davious White. White had a phenomenal 2019 as he was a first-team All-Pro and led the league in interceptions. He didn't allow a touchdown in 2019, and in 2018 he was a large reason the Bills quietly finished with the #1 passing defense. Buffalo hit a home run with this pick, and Tre'Davious will soon be one of the highest paid players in the league. An A+ pick for Buffalo. The 26th pick was when the Falcons selected Takkarist McKinley out of UCLA. McKinley showed right from the start how passionate he was for the game of football, and it was truly an amazing story on draft night. Unfortunately, the stories do not always translate to success, and this is what's happened to Tak so far. He's shown flashes and has 16.5 sacks through 3 years, but he hasn't truly ever dominated like first-round picks are expected to. A C pick for the Falcons. The 25th pick was when the Browns selected Jabril Peppers, who is now a Giant. He is most known for being in the Odell trade to the Browns. He's been a solid safety for both teams and has shown flashes. He certainly hasn't been elite like another safety in this draft class we'll get to later, but he has been above average. This is tricky because of the trade in here, but I would give the pick a B grade. The 24th pick was when the Raiders selected Gareon Conley. Conley played in just 2 games in his rookie season, but had a strong second year in which he had 3 interceptions with a pick 6. He was traded in the 2019 season to the Texans and hasn't been great there to say the least. There's a saying, a third of first-round picks are busts, a third are average, and a third are Pro Bowlers or stars, and Conley is at best average. The grade I give this pick is a C-. The 23rd pick was when the Giants selected tight end Evan Engram. Evan has shown flashes of greatness and even had a 700-yard season as a rookie. He hasn't been overly dominant, and he definitely hasn't been a bust either by any means. I would say Engram is closer to being a Pro Bowl tight end than an average tight end, and for that reason I give this pick a B+. The 22nd pick was when the Dolphins selected defensive end Charles Harris. Harris has just 61 tackles and 3.5 sacks in 3 full seasons with Miami. He has 8 starts, and as a former first-round pick, he is a bust by every definition. This pick gets an F from Miami. The 21st pick was when the Lions drafted linebacker Jarrad Davis. Davis has been a solid linebacker for the Lions over the past 3 years, and he will be the starter there for the next 7 to 8 years as long as he stays healthy. He has the potential to be a Pro Bowl player, and if he stays healthy, I think he can be one in the next couple of years. Anytime you get a starter and a quality one like Davis at that, it's an A pick, and I give the Lions an A. The 20th pick was when the Broncos selected offensive tackle Garrett Bowles. Bowles was 25 when they drafted him, and when a player is drafted that old, he is expected to dominate or contribute immediately, and he has really yet to do that. I don't think he will ever do that at this point in time for the Broncos, and for that reason I give this draft pick a D. The 19th pick was when the Bucs selected O.J. Howard. In 3 years, he has yet to have more than 35 catches in a season, and yet to have more than 6 touchdowns in a season. While I think O.J. can benefit from having Tom in the next 2 years because we know how Tom loves tight ends, he is at this point in time not a great tight end, but he hasn't been a bust either. I'd give this pick a C+. The 18th pick was when the Titans drafted Dore Jackson. He has 39 starts in 3 years and has just 2 interceptions. To show how his career has gone, whenever you click his profile on Pro Football Reference, the first thing that comes up is return stats, and that's generally not what you want to see when you're drafted as a corner in the first round. I give this draft grade a D. The 17th pick was when the Redskins selected Jonathan Allen. Jonathan's rookie season was forgettable due to injuries, but in the previous 2 seasons, he's had a combined 14 sacks and over 60 tackles each year. I'm excited for his future and the Redskins' future when they hopefully add Chase Young in a few weeks, and right now I give this grade a B+. The 16th pick was when the Ravens selected Marlon Humphrey. Marlon has improved every year since entering the NFL and has been well worth a first-round pick. He limited Odell Beckham the first time they played in 2019 to 2 catches for 20 yards, and his play this past year resulted in a Pro Bowl appearance and a first-team All-Pro. Humphrey and the Ravens' future look extremely bright. A+ pick from the Ravens. The 15th pick was when the Colts drafted Malik Hooker. Hooker has yet to play in a full 16-game season for the Colts, and that's really unfortunate because there's been times where he's shown elite flashes. This grade isn't fair to Malik because he could be an A pick if he were simply able to stay healthy, but I give it a C+ at the time. I really want him to stay healthy for a full season and hope he does soon. He has all the potential in the world. The 14th pick was when the Eagles selected Derek Barnett. The Eagles won the Super Bowl in his rookie year with the huge rotation of pass rushers behind Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham, such as Barnett, Vinnie Curry, and Chris Long. Because of this and being behind the aforementioned Cox and Graham, Barnett has never put up gaudy statistics you see from first-round pass rushers. He has 14 sacks in 3 seasons with just 20 starts, and I give this pick a C. The 13th pick was when the Cardinals drafted Shawne Redick. Redick has just 20 starts in 3 seasons, but he does have 2 seasons above 75 tackles. He certainly has flashed at times, but the Cardinals recently declined his 5th-year option and made him available for trade. I give this pick a C+. The 12th pick was when the Texans drafted Deshaun Watson. Watson has been nothing short of spectacular and is by every definition a franchise quarterback. Of course he can't help what his general manager is doing at the moment, but by every definition, Watson is an A+ draft pick. The 11th pick was when the Saints selected Marshawn Lattimore. Lattimore is a 2-time Pro Bowler and was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He is a number 1 corner, and with him, Marlon, and Tre'Davious, this is a cornerback class for the ages. Of course it gets overshadowed by Mahomes and Watson, but all 3 corners, Marshawn included, were A+ picks. The 10th pick was when the Chiefs drafted the face of the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, before the age of 25, is already an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, and there looks to be no signs of slowing him down. He is the best player in football, and this draft grade is by far the easiest one in the class. A+ pick for the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. The 9th pick was when the Bengals selected John Ross. Not only is Ross a bust, but he was taken right before Mahomes, so this pick looks that much worse. If Mahomes were an average player, this pick is still bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not an all-timer like this one is. Ross has played in just 24 games in 3 years and has just 49 catches over 3 seasons. This pick is an F. The 8th pick was when the Panthers drafted Christian McCaffrey. He has over 5,000 total yards in 3 years and 2 seasons with more than 100 receptions. He has 39 total touchdowns in his 3 seasons, and the Panthers, this is another easy one like it was with Mahomes, an A+ pick from them in 2017. The 7th pick was when the Chargers selected wide receiver Mike Williams. Williams' statistics are very weird to look at, as he had 10 touchdowns on 43 catches in 2018 and just 2 on 49 catches in 2019. He also had 1,000 yards this past year. When a team takes a receiver in the top 10, they are expected to dominate from the start, and Williams hasn't exactly done that. He hasn't been a bust either though, and for that reason I give this pick a B. The 6th pick was when the Jets drafted safety Jamal Adams. Adams already has 2 Pro Bowls to his name and 2 All-Pros, with 1 first team to his name. He impressively has 12 sacks from the safety position and 6 forced fumbles as well. His future with the Jets is unclear at this time, as there have been trade rumblings, but he is an A+ draft pick. The 5th pick was when the Titans selected Corey Davis. Davis didn't have a bad second year, in which he posted career-high numbers with 65 catches for 890 yards. The problem is he didn't build on that in 2019, as he had just 43 for 600. He has 1,800 career receiving yards over 3 seasons, and teams don't take receivers at number 5 overall for this little production. I give the pick a C-. The 4th pick was when the Jags drafted Leonard Fournette. Fournette in 3 seasons has 2 1,000-yard years and even had a 75-catch season in 2019. He has 19 total touchdowns in 3 seasons, and while Fournette isn't a bust by any means, he isn't exactly a home run either. I give this pick a B because he has been solid, but he's not a Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley type player. The 3rd pick was when the 49ers selected Salomon Thomas. Thomas has just 6 sacks in 3 years, and he did not play a role at all in the 49ers getting to the Super Bowl this past year. They have Nick Bosa and DeForest Buckner on the defensive line, and Thomas is a draft bust. There's no other way around it. He was drafted 3rd overall to become a great pass rusher, and to put it kindly, he is not. The 49ers swung and missed twice in the 2017 first round with Foster and Thomas, and this pick gets an F. The 2nd pick was when the Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky. Mitch is looked at as a bad pick, not only because he hasn't produced great, but he was taken after Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Mitch isn't good, but I also don't think he's as bad as some people make him out to be. By no means am I saying Mitch is an A pick or even a B, because he's not, but he's also not a Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell level bust. He is 23-18 as a starter and was a double doink away from winning a playoff game. I give the Mitch pick a C grade. Now we have finally reached the number 1 pick, Myles Garrett. Myles, disregarding how his 2019 season ended, has been a great player for the Browns. He has over 30 sacks in 37 games, and he was a Pro Bowler in the only season he played 16 games in. He is a tremendous pass rusher, and when on the field has lived up to everything and more. I give this pick an A+, because the Browns have a franchise pass rusher that other teams simply wish they had. And after rethinking this a little bit between recording the Malik Hooker pick and now, I would go from giving that a pick a C+ to a B+, as I realize I messed up originally and lowballed him without meaning to. So if you're still watching, I do want you to know that I did change the grade on that pick. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will be doing some giveaways in the future, so you'll definitely want to be around for that. Make sure to follow me on Twitter as well at Football Analysis, and if you're still watching, I appreciate the time out of your day. Stay safe during the quarantine, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.